Hello and welcome to this Becoming a Better Director bite-sized webinar from Companies House. This is the second of 4 short webinars to help you to understand the responsibilities of becoming a company director. On to today's agenda. Without further ado, we're not only going to keep you for around half an hour, so I'm going to quickly now hand over to Stephanie and Lee from the Business Support Helpline for today's presentation. So hello both, are you there?
Good morning, Gary, and hello everyone. As Gary mentioned, my name is Lee White, and of course I am here with my colleague Stephanie Kirkwood. We are both part of a dedicated team of business advisors at the Business Support Helpline. Now, the Business Support Helpline is a government provision for free business support. We provide a signposting service, offering guidance regardless of what stage you are at in your business journey, whether you're starting out, trading, looking to grow, or have entered into a crisis situation. So today we're going to guide you through some of the common questions we get asked at the helpline. We have prepared a handout, as Gary mentioned, which will be available to download from a tool panel, providing a list of resources that we will be referring to throughout today's session. We also have colleagues on hand to answer these questions for you, but please do feel free to contact us, and all of our contact details will be included at the end of this presentation.
Fabulous, thanks Lee. So one of the most common concerns we get from new businesses is just really ensuring, that they're doing everything right and that they've considered everything that they need to. So as each business is different rules will obviously apply. Therefore, what we would do is find out a little bit more about your business and then tailor the support and solutions that's right for you. But on the slide is listed, we've listed some of the key considerations. So firstly, licenses. Licenses are required for certain business activities. Examples include playing music, selling food, and also street trading. Licenses are issued by your local authority, so bylaws can apply to certain areas. So we would always recommend contacting the licensing department of your local authority to determine whether any specific licenses apply. A license finder tool is available on the gov.uk website, again included in the handout, and that does help you identify what, if any, licenses may apply to the activities that you carry out within your business. So secondly, insurance. Again, the type of insurance you require does depend on the activities the business is undertaking and the associated risks. There are 2 types of insurances that are mandatory and required by law. The first one is employer's liability insurance, required if you intend to employ staff, and a vehicle insurance, which is mandatory if you're using a vehicle for business use. If that is the case, you would need to update your motor insurance policy and add business use on there. Further insurances covers that you may wish to consider subject to risk include public liability, which covers damages and legal costs when a member of the public dies, is injured, or suffers damage to their property, where you are found to be responsible. Product liability, which is protection against claims if the public gets hurt because of your product. So that's more about if you're in the product development. Professional indemnity insurance, that's usually for businesses that give professional advice, deliver training, offer a professional service, or handle data or intellectual property belonging to a client or business. And this covers you against people believing that they've been given bad advice. Further insurance covers you may wish to consider include building and contents, business interruption, cyber liability, and intellectual property. We would be able at the helpline talk you through any suitable insurances that you may need to consider and signpost you to tools which help you identify suitable insurance providers as well. Selling online. So when selling online, you must comply with rules around the information you provide a customer before and after an order is placed, their cancellation rights, and your returns policies. The Business Companion website offers guidance around your obligations, and in some instances, you may be able to get additional guidance via your local trading standards department, something that we can look into for you. If your business is planning to import or export, you may be liable to pay tax and duty charges. So certain goods may require a license or a certificate. We can talk you through the steps required and again look at the support available to help you successfully import or export products and services. Data. So you must follow rules on data protection if your business stores or uses personal information. Data must be current, accurate, and stored in a in a secure manner. You may have a requirement, depending on the nature of the information that you store, to register with the Information Commissioner's Office. A virtual tool is available on the ICO website, and that helps you identify whether registration is required. As Gary mentioned at the beginning, Companies House and ICO are hosting a joint webinar next week on the 6th of October at the same time, 10:30. So if you've got further queries or questions around, aspects of data protection, GDPR, that's a really good one. I would recommend registering for that one. Brilliant. So next slide. And a question we get asked quite regularly is, do I have legal protection over the name I have registered with Companies House? So registering a company with Companies House does not give legal protection over a company name. It merely prevents someone else registering this exact name as a company. So to ensure you have exclusive rights to trade under this name, you may want to consider intellectual property, and namely in this instance, what is referred to as a trademark. When considering a trademark, you may wish to give thought to the following. How important is the brand to your plan? Is the name available, and is it legally possible to trademark that? You can search that on the gov.uk website, and obviously the cost implications. So with anything, it's about weighing up the costs of what your plans are, and the importance of the brand to your business. A trademark relates to identity and can also include things like your logo, slogan, and domain name as well. So that would be an additional on any trademark applications.
Right. When registering a business, you will be required to provide an address. Sometimes permission is not given from a landlord or mortgage provider, and people inquire about what other options they have. So when starting a business, keeping overheads to a minimum can be vital. In order to achieve this, alongside being practical, it is common for businesses to initially use a residential property as a registered business and trading address. If this is the case, certain permissions may be required. Whether you rent or have a mortgage in place, there is a contract between yourself and another party regarding the use of your home address. If in this contract there is a clause that restricts or prohibits the property from being used for business purposes, then you would need to resolve this issue before moving ahead with your business. This may mean that you can't register your business at your home address, and it could also mean that you can't undertake any business activities such as marketing, bookkeeping, storage, or preparation, to name a few. This can be resolved by simply asking the other party permission to carry out business activities from your property in question, in which case it would always be recommended that you obtain this in a written format to avoid any misunderstandings at a later date. If permission is refused, you will need to look at alternative addresses that you can use for your business. Now, with relevant permission, this could be a friend or family member's property. Some professional services, such as accountants and lawyers, will often allow businesses to use their address for registration purposes. Or you may be able to look at a virtual office as a means of keeping costs within a budget. A guide is available on gov.uk covering operating a business from either home or a rented business property, and a link to which will be included in the handout. Now, both pre-trading and established businesses often require legal advice with general legal inquiries about starting a business, employing people, contracts with customers or suppliers, taking on leased premises and business structures and health and safety. Legal advice typically involves a cost. Whenever we receive an inquiry of this nature, and if a business has been trading for less than 1 year, we can direct a customer to a national scheme provided by the Law Society called Lawyers for Your Business. This service provides a free 30-minute consultation and is also a means of identifying a suitable solicitor. Outside of this, universities may have legal support schemes in place where advice is provided by law students but overseen by legal professionals, which can be a great way to obtain advice on certain legal matters. Further legal support may be available for specific company structures or industries. LawWorks, for example, offer free legal support for the not-for-profit sector. Their support can include drafting contracts, reviewing leases, updating articles, and clarifying rights in disputes, just to name a few. There may also be alternative routes instead of obtaining legal advice that a business can use to resolve a problem. For instance, did you know that the Office of the Small Business Commissioner can provide support and advice to small businesses around late or unfair payment issues, which is one of the more common inquiries we get out of the Business Support Helpline. These are just some of the resources that the Business Support Helpline can help you identify.
Great. So what do I need to consider when employing staff? So there's a number of things. First of all, decide how much you will pay someone. Employees must be paid at least the national minimum wage. Check that any prospective employees have the legal right to work in the UK. Obtain employers' liability insurance. As previously mentioned, this is mandatory for those people that employ staff. Check whether you need to register as an employer with HMRC. There is some thresholds whereby that you wouldn't need to, so obviously look into that. You must provide an employee with a written statement of employment when employing someone for more than 1 month. Consider whether staff require a DBS check to carry out their role, and understand your responsibilities around automatic enrolment in a pension scheme. You will find some really useful information on the ACAS website, including a range of templates and the opportunity to speak with dedicated advisors via a helpline as well. With regards to subcontracting, so if you hire a freelancer, consultant or contractor, it means that they are self-employed or are part of other companies. They often look after their own tax and national insurance contributions. They're usually not entitled to the same rights as workers, for example, minimum wage, but you would still be responsible for their health and safety. Separate rules apply for those in the construction industry, and you must register for the CIS, the Construction Industry Scheme, before you take on your first subcontractor if you're within the construction industry. Again, something we can help with and direct you to any relevant guidance that you need. So next question, and lots of conversations that we have at the helpline around marketing businesses effectively with a low budget. So basically, an effective marketing strategy, we believe, starts at the market research stage and by understanding how you can differentiate yourself from your competitors. This helps your business stand out from the crowd. So your unique selling point could include higher quality, lower price, a better customer experience, or something innovative. In essence, something that no one else in your market currently offers. With a USP, you will be better equipped to convince your prospective customers to buy from you. So, here at the helpline, our advisors can talk you through cost-effective marketing tools and any support that is available to help you develop these into your marketing plan. But what understanding your customers and what motivates them to buy will help you determine how, when, and which marketing tools will be the most effective to use. So a couple of examples that we would talk regularly to clients about. Social media. So it's a free marketing tool. But it's really important to set a few hours aside each week to be active on social media, which helps build strong customer connections. The nature of your business will determine which channels will be most effective. Customer reviews, so potential customers can be strongly influenced by other people's experiences. So some positive reviews can greatly contribute towards convincing people to try your business. Events, although some events can be costly to attend, the return on investment can be high if you choose one that attracts the perfect target market. We can help you identify any local events, including those run by local growth hubs and other networking events in your local area. Trade association. So a trade association is an organisation generally founded and funded by businesses that operate in a specific industry and can offer benefits such as subsidised or free training, access to market research reports and statistics, and sector-specific networking and events. Memberships can come at a cost, so again, it's worth weighing up the costs with the benefits.
So speaking about costs, one of the more common questions we get is about cash flow forecasting. And one of the foundations for a successful business is often considered to be this document, the cash flow forecast. And this will show businesses how the finances are going to work within their business. The document will take in consideration all of the expenses of a business. This could be, but is not limited to, equipment costs, stock, advertisements, wages, insurances, just to name a few. This will then be compared to the income streams of a business, and again, this could be, but is not limited to, the sales, rental income, investments, and any advertisement revenue that business may receive. The cash flow forecast will show these figures over a period of time to demonstrate how viable a business can be and what is needed in order for this prediction to come true. We at the Business Support Helpline often are asked about what financial support is available to a business, and one of the first questions we ask is, do you have a cash flow forecast prepared? As this document may be needed to show any prospective financial providers how much funding your company requires and what impact it will have on your business. There's often support available to assist individuals in writing cash flow forecasts, including websites such as the Sector Donut, which is a free website that lists different businesses with a potential income and expenditure streams, linking to more detailed information on separate pages. There's also local support such as growth hubs or enterprise agencies, which could also assist. The Business Support Helpline can direct you to different organisations that can help you in the creation of your cash flow forecast and other market research materials. As mentioned, the cash flow forecast is often needed for financial support, and finding the right support and finance is key to both startup and business growth, and is a topic we cover on a regular basis on our Business Support Helpline. From identifying mentors to helping businesses prepare a solid business plan and directing business owners to specialist organisations, the Business Support Helpline can signpost to a range of government-backed schemes to help you get the support that you need. Regional support includes growth hubs. These can offer mentoring, workshops, training and finance schemes to help local businesses develop and grow. Each growth hub offers a different service, so it is very much dependent on where your business is based, what stage you are at, and what sector you operate in, but it is something we as a Business Support Helpline can advise you on. Whilst we are looking for your local growth hub, we will also highlight any suitable enterprise agencies that operate in your area. These organisations can in some areas work in partnership with local authorities to provide a range of support in a geographical area, including mentoring, financial support, access to premises, and networking events. The Business Support Helpline identifies national and localised schemes that can assist you moving forward with your business plans. Our advisors can also look at suitable financial options such as potential grants, loans, and investment opportunities. These are often criteria driven and regionally based, so our advisors will also ask questions around your business and growth plans so we can determine relevant options for you. When needing finance, it is important to research how much capital you require, what you will use this finance for, and if repayment of finance is needed, does your cash flow support this? With Business Support Helpline based on your needs, we'll direct you to the most suitable organisations that can help you raise the finance you require. One example of this is an organisation called Startup Loans, and that is a government-backed national scheme used to raise finance for new businesses. The eligibility criteria means that you must have either yet to start trading or have been trading for less than 2 years. The finance is provided on a personal loan basis, and benefits include a fixed interest rate and a free business mentor to help support the business. There could also be funding specific to your sector, such as the Arts Council for the creative industry. Or if your business is innovative, you've got an organisation called Innovate UK. And it could also be options aimed at the nature of your business, such as social enterprises and not-for-profit organisations.
Great. So that's the kind of frequently asked questions that we get. So we hope you found this webinar useful, and that has linked up with some of the questions that you had. As we mentioned at the start, the helpline is a completely free service. We're available on email, web chat, and social media, as well as the phone. And we can hopefully save you valuable time in finding the right resources to help you plan for the success of your business. So please do contact us on any of the methods that I mentioned with any support that you have. Thanks for all your participation today and all the questions that you've sent. That's all from us now, and back over to you, Gary. Thanks now.
Thanks both. Time has gone really quickly. We've only got a couple of minutes left, so I'll just quickly go through a couple of things that we offer here at Companies House. First of all, we have a new online learning tool, which I can get that on there. Yep, there we go. So we've launched a new online learning tool for directors, which takes you through the responsibilities and annual filings. And the link again is in the handout, so download those handouts before we finish today. The tool takes you through your responsibilities as a director and shows you how to make your annual filings with links to the relevant parts of the Companies House website to allow you to do so. And it also incorporates our useful how-to videos. This is a free online tool, but we do ask you for your name and your email address when you sign in first time. That's just for, you know, statistics really, but that'd be great if you could have a go at that and see what you think about it and give us feedback. Second thing I want to mention here is email updates. Now, by signing up to our email update service, we will inform you of any changes happening in the world of Companies House, so you know what's happening when and where. And this is separate to our email reminder service, which I'll mention in a minute. Now, basically, we will send you an email with any new developments or events that we are happening, and this usually goes out every 2 weeks. So we're not going to inundate you with information. It just goes out every 2 weeks for you. Other services just to be aware of. We have a director's toolkit that takes you through your responsibilities as a company director again. It provides guidance on how to file your documents and make sure that you comply with regulations. Email reminders, now separate from email updates, but if you own a company, please sign up to our email reminder service. Again, this is a free service that allows us to remind you when your important documents are due. So you don't miss any of those deadlines. And if you do sign up to email reminders, you are allowed to submit up to 4 email addresses. So if someone is away, then at least someone should get a reminder to say that those documents are actually due. Right, we're nearly dead on time at the moment. So thank you again for joining us. Thank you to Lee and Stephanie for providing today's presentation. And obviously thank you to you for joining us. And we are dead on 11 o'clock. So that's it. And hopefully we will see you next time.